Hello everyone, welcome to another Go Magic video. Today I'd like to present you the very recent game between Yuta Iyama and Nil. So Yuta Iyama is probably he needs no introduction. He is the best Go player in Japan currently, and I know a lot of people who are big fans of Yuta Iyama, so I decided to take his game, which is a really exciting game against Nil in the 23rd Nongqing Cup. At this point, the black player Nil has gained a lot of territory from top to the bottom. This entire corner plus side plus corner connected is really scary. On the other hand, Yuta Iyama, the white player, has a lot of potential on the bottom side. So this is more or less a leading game for white at this point. If white just plays out the Hane here, if black plays the Hane and then we double Hane, because of how thick white is over here, this is pretty much all territory. This is not invadable. The max black can do is like extend an L2, and that's pretty much it. So this would be a leading game for white. Moving on, there will be some endgame that Yuta Iyama has to be careful. So at this point, white could have chosen that path, but instead white decided to focus on the life and death of the left side. So this was the leftover problem for black, right? It seems like black has a lot of eye space, but actually the entire group has a life and death problem. So I'll give you a little bit of time to think about what would you play as white to kill the black's group on the left. So if we just descend at B13, what's going to happen is black's going to block over here. And it's really hard for white to have a follow-up. So let's say if white captures, this is probably the simplest variation to give up the killing, right? So this is, black is all alive right now. If white plays out this one, black can play A14. So black will have an eye over here, and these two guys are dead, and obviously that's another eye. What are some of the other variations? White can also squeeze here. Black does not really want to play A11 because that will be countered by A14. There's a throw in and there's a connect. So if you connect here, white can Atari at A16. When black connects, we can just connect everything up. Black has to live in Gote. So basically white was able to kill this group on Incente and then come back and enclose everything here. That's just a way for black to resign. So if black connects, obviously we see there's a huge problem where white can just throw in here. Against white's squeeze here, black will simply tighten liberty of these two guys. If white Ataris, black can connect, and this black has 3 liberties and white only has 2, and therefore black is going to be alive. And if white plays the peep here, black can go back and capture the 2 stones first. If white plays here, black is gonna Hane connect, and we see there's an eye here, and there's also an eye by capturing the 2 stones. And obviously on the other hand, if you try to break this eye, black has a Tsuji, that is to play this triangle move. This will make black alive as well. So that's a little bit of life and death knowledge going on here. In the actual game, Yuta Iyama decided to play the Kosumi, that is the correct move, to try to kill black here. Now black has to connect at B15. If black Ataris, white can connect the stone back. If black captures, this will be actually a horrible way of playing because black is dead in Gote. White can pretty much just play a move on the outside and black is dead, right? And that's obviously game over. So black had no choice but to connect at b15, and that's what happened in the game. White harness, and then black needs to squeeze here. We can tell that next move, white decided to connect here, which looked really suspicious. It's not a place where we would place our stones normally, but this turns out to be a very strong move. This is this is something that Yuta Iyama was able to play because of his great reading skills. If white just goes for the liberty, black can actually throw in here. White has to capture and black Ataris. When white connects, black has a throw in. White captures and then black Ataris. When white squeeze here, this becomes a ko. So Yuta Iyama wanted to prevent that from happening. That is why in the actual game, white connected at b13, and that's a 100% correct move. So this kind of shape actually happens a lot in your liberty fight, especially in the small liberty fights. A lot of times I encourage my viewers to think about, whenever you have a tiger's mouth, especially like this on the second line, think about whether the throw-in could work or not, right? This is usually a spot for Tsuji. Alright, so white did not let that Tsuji happen for black. And now black has no choice. This is a 4 liberties versus 4 liberties. So if black does not play, these guys will be killed, and obviously these guys won't survive. So black has to kill off white's group here first. But we can all kind of see that after black was able to capture the 4 stones here, this is still a dead shape because it's white's turn to play. White decided to directly go for a kill. So for a lot of amateur players, this might seem obvious, but for a professional player, a move like b13 actually takes a lot of courage, because if white does not kill black, this is giving black 2 points. So let's say black live on the outside. This would be a gift to black. So 2 points might not seem a lot for us, and it's probably not a lot for us, but for professional players, it's extremely serious deal. So Yuta Iyama at this point could have just come back and still follow up with the safer plan to win this game. This would actually be a leading game for white anyway. But actually, that's just not Yuta Iyama's style, right? So if you're a fan of Yuta Iyama, you know that Yuta Iyama is extremely good at reading. He's not like the traditional Japanese players where the play is focused on shapes and playing really clean moves. He's more of a fighter, and he has really good reading skills, which is why he is the top player in Japan right now. Alright, so Yuta Iyama obviously had to play the b13 for his fans, and now this is black's turn to struggle something up. In the actual game, black decided to hane at d10. So here, maybe a better variation is for black to cut at e12. This is, I'm not saying with this move black is able to survive, but this probably gives more trouble to Yuta Iyama. Or another possibility is for black to play the f15, making use of the liberty shortage here. White needs to break this eye, but then black can actually block here. When white cuts, black can extend the stone out. In this way, Byung-Sun Il could have probably had more chances to. I guess it leaves more room for Yuta Iyama to make a mistake, because of the liberty problems that white has. This is not so easy to deal with. In the actual game, it seems like Byung-Sun Il decided to break through this direction, but as we can see, there's so many guardians over here just waiting for black, so I don't think this was a particularly good idea from Byung-Sun Il. Alright, so in the actual game, white jumps. That's the shape move for these 3 guys. Black attaches, white extends, and then black has to go back and connect right now. If black gets cut off, then there's no chance for any sort of counterattack. White extends, very solid move, and black now jumps over here. White peeps, black connects, and then white plays the bamboo shape. So white is playing super solid here. And just it looks really hopeless for black right now, because I mean there's just not an eye here, right? It doesn't matter how many moves you play here, there's no eye. And then making an eye over here, given that white has all these stones waiting, is just extremely difficult. Black now attaches, white turns, black squeezes here, and then white connects. The reason white needs to connect, well, I mean, white right now really wants to play a move like this, but there's a cutting point here. If white is not careful and plays moves like this, then that's probably GG that's game over for white actually, because black is able to live himself like this. So a lot of liberty problems when you try to attack your opponent. You have to always pay attention to your own weakness, which is why in the actual game Yuta Iyama decided to connect, right? We can see that whenever you want to kill your opponent, a lot of moves you make are these super solid moves, like one after another. This is literally just like no space between them. White played a bunch of moves here to make sure there's nothing going on, which shows you that when you are trying to survive your dragon, the first thing you need to think about is actually counterattack. Alright, so white connects, and at this point there's no chance for counterattack because this group is just a piece of rock. Black harness, and then white now blocks the exit over here. Black attaches to the opponent, but at this point, because of how many stones there are for white there, the principles, it doesn't matter how you follow the principles, you just won't be able to live here. It's just impossible. When white peeps here, black connects, white drags stone back, and black connects, and then white goes back and fix all the vulnerabilities over here. Black plays the knight's move, and then this is a very basic problem. I know a lot of my viewers probably playing this kind of move, but that's just asking for trouble, because when black descend here, actually black just survive, right? These guys won't be able to survive, and therefore say for example, let's play this out. See, there's already like a liberty problem here. So black squeeze here, that's actually game over for white. So that obviously is not going to be a mistake that you can get from Yuta Iyama. In the actual game, the correct move is to attach. And this is pretty much a basic thing. If black plays here, we all know what to do. We can just connect the stone back. If black harness, white's correct move is to push on top. So if black wants to block going to the Atari, this is not going to work. What about if black captures the stone? Well, white can just connect. So as long as the dragon is dead, it doesn't matter what black plays here. So if you play here, I'm just going to prevent the ko. If you play here, I can just descend. Of course, you probably will live the corner, but that doesn't really matter because your dragon is dead. Alright, so that's a basic thing. White attaches here, and then black decided to cut for the final struggle. White Ataris, black extends, white connects, black tries to get himself back. The idea of this move is if white just runs, and now we can declare death sentence for this group. But maybe what black is hoping for is the connection problem over here to kill the dragon that white has over here. So white still has to be very careful. A lot of time I literally see players online just throw games like this. They play too safe. They're like, yay, I killed the entire dragon, I must be winning. But then when the opponent started to go for his dragon, that becomes a problem. So to prevent that, in the actual game, White says, not only am I going to kill a dragon, but also these guys I won't let you survive. Black plays here, and then White cuts. Black pulls the stone back, and now White turns finally, right? Finally gets rid of the weakness here, and now this is so game over, right? So let's see how many problems Black has right now. So first of all, the dragon here is all dead. Secondly, these 4 guys won't be able to make home, and therefore they're also dead. A third problem is that because of the G16 stone, now there's this push. So if Black plays somewhere else, White is going to push, and then all of a sudden a third dragon is also dead. So Black is pretty much dead everywhere. It might seem to some people that, oh, Black has got a lot of territory over here. But if you look at the left side, that is just like unwatchable. This is just way too much for White. So at this point, Byung-Seon decided that this is going to be enough, and then this will be the last move of the game. So throughout this game, Yuta Iyama has played extremely well. So if you're interested, you should definitely check out the full game and check out how Yuta Iyama has played in the opening as well. Since this is a Go Magic video, I decided just to show you guys the dragon slaying as well as some of the life and death over here. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys next time.